Hello, Samadhi community. My name is Sushma, and for today's talk, we are going to discuss the saying, "We see the world as we are." So let's start with a story. There's a story of a king who was going through a jungle and he sees a lion attacking a deer. The king stops the lion and he says, "Don't you know you're practicing violence? You're practicing himsa. You should be non-violent." And the lion goes, "But my cubs are waiting on the other side of the field, waiting for their mom to bring them food, bring them dinner. They'll starve if I don't do this. Isn't that violence?" And then the deer looks at the king and says, "But my fawns, my babies are waiting on the other side of the field, waiting for their mom to come home. Of course it is violence if he kills me." So depending on which side you are on, you will see the world as you are. There is another, if you've had a discussion with a friend about politics or any other, and you go, which world do they live in? It's because they have their own set of belief system, their own set of eyes that they see the world through. There's a very interesting story of Ganesha, who is the elephant-headed god in Indian mythology, and his brother Kartikeya gets into an argument with him, and he says, "Let's do this. Let's go around the world 3 times, and whoever comes back first is better than the other." Ganesh agrees, and Kartikeya, who's this very athletic looking warlord, jumps on his peacock and goes around the world. He makes his first round, he goes around the second time, and this whole time Ganesh is just sitting next to his parents. He's eating his favorite dessert, he's hanging out. And then when Kartikeya makes the 3rd round, Ganesh gets up, walks around his parents 3 times, and before his brother lands back on wherever they are, Ganesh has completed his 3 rounds around his parents. And he goes, "I won, I win." So Kartikeya is very upset. He's like, "What do you mean? You did not even leave this place. The bet was that we'll go around the world 3 times." And Ganesh says, "You went around the world and I went around my world. What is more important?" And so depending on, again, our life experiences, how we see the world, our belief system, that makes our world our world. There is the physical world, which is neutral, and then we have our world, how we believe things, how we see the world through our eyes. I feel that's why clashes happen between cultures, because you think that your way is the right way, your way is the logical way, and someone else's way, when you don't agree with them, is illogical, is superstitious. So, but it's just that we are looking with a different set of eyes. We are looking at the world as we are. Another great story that I love is the story of Alexander. When he was conquering the world, he goes to India. So Alexander's belief system was more of, you have one life, make a difference, live the grandest way you can, leave a legacy, on lines to that. And he meets a yogi at the banks of a river, and the yogi is just sitting there staring into nothingness. So Alexander says, "What are you doing?" And the yogi goes, "I'm trying to find the nothingness that's within me." And the yogi goes, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm trying to conquer the world." And the yogi has grown up or has listened to stories where the universe is a vast space, and I'm just a speck. I will live many lives, and everything is in a state of flux. Even death is not permanent. When you die, you are born again. And there's nothing outside for the yogi. They hold the universe within us. So when these two belief systems meet, they feel the other person is just wasting their time. What's the point of just sitting there and doing nothing? That's the view of Alexander, and the yogi is like, why is he conquering the world? What's the point of that? There are so many people who came before him, and there will be people after him. So it's very good to be mindful that when we think we are practicing satya, to remind ourselves that just like our truth is very powerful for us, so is the truth of the other person. We see the world as we are, and the other person is seeing the world as they are. So when we practice satya, remind yourself to practice truthfulness, to practice satya in such a way that you are uplifting others, or at the least not diminishing them. And also, because our truth also changes from day to day. If you think about it, what you believed 5 years back, you might not believe it is true today. What you believed yesterday, if when you were feeling happy, maybe you were feeling very blessed, and today if you're feeling sad, even that shifts. So just a reminder to practice satya, keeping in mind that our truth is very malleable. Our truth, our world is very different from the world of others. As our world is important to us, so is theirs.